So before we get into my opinions on the game, I first of all like to say a huge thank you to Murty for the work that he's done. He didn't want the job. I don't think anyone did when Warburton left. It was all thrust upon him, dumped upon him, even if you will. And I think he coped with it amazingly. The first game he was in charge, he won. Sure, we lost a couple of games as well, but winning 6-0, I mean, we haven't really seen our team win by 3 goals all season. And then to draw with Celtic and take away some of their points and end their winning streak, that's sensational. So for the short period in time that you were our manager, Murty, a huge thank you on my behalf. Of course, I don't speak for all fans and everyone will have different opinions and I'll always respect that. But moving into the game, I think that there were a lot of positives and a lot of negatives, as per usual, in this game on the Rangers' behalf. But first of all, we pulled together as a team, and I think it was really encouraging to see. Lee Wallace at the back, he wasn't amazing, he was okay, he did his job, but he wasn't spectacular. Then there was the likes of Wes Foderingham, who proved that again that he's an excellent shot stopper, but if ever the ball goes to his feet, he panics. And all game today, he sliced the ball. And it's just something that I want Kai Genius to drill out of the team, is this apparent need to pass the ball back to the keeper to relieve pressure. But all it does is give more pressure, and often it leads to turnover in possession. I think Celtic pretty much sniffed that out, is if you put pressure on Foderingham when he's got the ball at his feet, he's not going to cope well with it. But as I said, he's a great shot stopper and I think a good keeper, but just hopefully we can get that out of his game, the ball at his feet part anyway. I think Danny Wilson and James Tavernier, but before I say this, Wilson I think had a good game. I'm sure again opinions will differ, but Danny Wilson and Tavernier on a couple of occasions, they couldn't even touch the ball. And I think that's something that's part of the foundation of being a football player, particularly if you're a defender. If you have a bad touch and you're in defence, that could lead to a chance on goal for the opposition team. And I think as a footballer, you have to have a good touch, particularly if you're getting paid so much money for it. Tavernier as well, I noticed that he's passed the ball straight to Celtic players, leading to obviously a turnover in possession. And I think he played better in midfield as to what he does at defence. So maybe that's something worth looking at, but I'm not actually sure if he'll be part of Kai Genius' plans, because I'm not sure if he suits his style of play whatsoever. Then of course there was Jason Holt, who gave the ball, who lost the ball, and that led to Celtic's first goal in the 35th minute. But as I said, it's just a lovely strike from Armstrong, and I think Armstrong, when he was on, was probably the best player on the pitch at that point in time. But of course, there were the likes of Clint Hill, who was at the back, who did amazingly. He may have been penalised for 4 fouls, and potentially at the end that challenge should have been a penalty. What's my opinion on that? Well, I don't really want to say it, and I know a lot of people won't like me for this, but actually I think it could have been a penalty. Yeah, because his legs were so high around, I think it was Griffiths, and he did touch the ball, but it was the fact that his legs were around him that knocked Griffiths off of balance before Clint Hill touched the ball. But all the same, before doing that, for us, he scored us a goal, the equaliser. And I think any defender with Clint Hill's experience would have done the same thing. Whether he got in trouble, was sent off, or whatever for that challenge, I think that's his experience. He knows that that's what he needed to do as a defender. It was his job, and I think he did that really well, so fair play to him. I also like to see Josh Windass come on. Now, he didn't have the best effect, but we haven't seen him in a while, and I think it's been really good to see him play, so hopefully he gets to play more and he starts to improve, because he wasn't that impressive, but we've seen him play well against Celtic before, and that's a top team in the league, so imagine what he could do to the littler teams. Harry Forrester also came on, and that's something that Rangers fans have been crying out for, and he almost studded Craig Gordon in the head, which was a bit of a controversy, but at the same time, he could have broken his foot. You know, when you put your foot in there, particularly with a goalkeeper, you never know if you're going to get tripped up or if you're going to hurt. As for Barry McCoy, I think Barry McCoy, his head wasn't in the game today for whatever reason. When he got subbed off, he did look hurt that he was being subbed off, but I think he saw it coming. Because whenever the ball was in the air, and this was actually an issue for the whole team, we couldn't win the ball in the air. We couldn't header the ball, and Barry McCoy didn't even try. If ever people went in aggressively in for a challenge, he sort of backed out. And I think that means that he must have some sort of minor injury that he's just recovered from or something in training. But either way, I'd like to see a confident Barry McCoy aggressively attacking the ball. Now, do I think that we deserved to take points off Celtic? Do I think that we deserve to get a draw? Actually, yeah, I think that we do. A couple of decisions, I'll admit, went our way. However, when Martin Waghorn was one-on-one with Craig Gordon, it really should have been an easy finish. It was something that strikers should have done instinctively. Someone like Kenny Miller, with all his experience, he would know how to score that goal without even thinking about it. But Martin Waghorn is yet to have such experience, because he took too long. And taking too long can sometimes put a player off, but I'm not taking anything away from that Craig Gordon save. That was quite a sensational save. But yeah, on the whole, I do think that Rangers deserved to take points away today because we persevered, we kept on pushing, we kept on attacking, and I didn't really see our heads go down either. But Celtic made quite a few attacks as well, and I think on a different day, Dembele could have scored more. But it's all well throwing your hands up and saying Rangers could have scored more if Martin Waghorn finished, and Celtic could have scored more if Dembele finished. But the matter of fact is, both teams didn't. So I think that's pretty much my summary of today's game done. And yeah, I'm relatively happy with the draw, particularly with the way the media were talking about the game beforehand. But yeah, I think that Rangers did particularly well. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure that you like and subscribe. But above all, subscribe if you're not already, because we're struggling for subscribers just now. But thank you very much for watching. See you next time.